And I will let you know we're live. So hello.
Hey.
Usually it takes a couple minutes for people to hop on, but we have done our due diligence and put it out to the universe that we are back again on Tuesday, as we always are. So it's Borahae Con, whatever you want to say, potato, which I just ate. I ate a potato with beans. Right beforehand, I was asking Karin if I had beans in my teeth because they tend to come with me. But it's, of course, Amanda and Megan, and we've got Karin from the Bangtan Universe Wormhole YouTube channel today, who is going to be one of our guests at the con. And so she's going to tell us some stuff about that once we get rolling with con news and once that little eye up there has some numbers on it. Normally we go do some little tricks over here so that people know, like, hey, we're on. But I think hubby is busy doing something right now, so that's not happening. So hopefully we get some peeps. If not, I will run downstairs and do the little trick.
I haven't had a chance to post on our YouTube channel that we're live here. If you give me a second.
We post all over the place, and usually people pop in.
Yeah, let me do that quickly. So I'll be right here, but I'll make a post and say that we're live. And
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually send a text too while you're doing that and see if I can get that little magic trick to happen. So Megan, you're on for a minute here.
Awesome.
While you're doing that and see if I can get that little magic trick.
No, we're doing great.
You're on for a minute here.
I know that there'll be some people filtering it.
Why are we getting feedback of me from a couple seconds ago? Did somebody Karin, you don't have YouTube on, do you? That must be why.
You know what? Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, you might actually need to turn that off because it's going to give us feedback otherwise.
All right, I was just going to get on long enough to make a post.
It's okay.
Click the link. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's gonna do weird because people watch the replay. So even if they're not with us right now, they will watch the replay. We get lots of views on the replay, so we'll just keep rolling, and people will see it. No worries. So con news. Do we have con news? We have t-shirt news. Megan, you wanna tell the t-shirt news of which design won and what we're going with?
I sure will. In a bit of a landslide, the front and back design won. Which is great. That's the one we did last year. We just updated it by changing the shirt from white to purple and by updating with our new logo for this year, which is really similar to last year's, of course. But I think that looks fantastic. So that's the one that we submitted, and they will be up soon, available for purchase. And the second, what came in second was the curved front one. So that's good to know that there's also that kind of people that like that as well. So maybe in the future, something for us to take into consideration. But yeah, winner was front and back design, and you'll be able.
I'm kind of excited about that because that means we guessed right last year when we did that.
Yeah, that is true. And the responses were they were really positive responses too. About how great it looked, how visually appealing it was. They liked the placement, so I'm excited.
And I don't know, I just want to put out there too, in case we haven't, I don't remember if we talked about this yet or not, but the reason we have a butterfly, it's okay, the logo, because Megan mentioned the logo is kind of similar to last year, but not entirely. So we kept the finger heart because we wanted to keep something consistent. But we went with the big butterfly and then the 7 little butterflies underneath it instead of the big purple heart and the 7 purple hearts, because we wanted to go with first of all, the butterfly song, but second of all, kind of a set them free theme and motif for this year, where the rest of them are all being discharged from their military duty. So we chose the butterfly very on purposely this year. And of course, the big butterfly is for Army and the 7 little butterflies are all for the different members. You might notice a couple of them are a little bit different sized. That's not on purpose. Of course, one member's not bigger than the other. It just looks better that way.
Yes.
There's still 7. And we didn't assign butterflies to anybody. So I know
the number,
like we do all the BTS things, and you should, because we did do this on purpose. And also, we've mentioned before, we did make the finger heart. It's not a standard Asian skin tone finger heart, it is kind of a halfway in between the white and black finger heart, so that it kind of covers more people. It brings in the Asian, brings in the white, and the black, and the Hispanic, and all the different things. We did that on purpose too. So you can read a lot into it, but don't read so much into it that you worry about if the little hearts are bigger. Speaking
the number
of
is symbolic. Yeah.
What's that?
I said the number is what's symbolic. Yeah.
That is what is symbolic, correct. So anyway, t-shirts will be available starting for sale. That'll be out on one of our posts either tomorrow or Friday this week. So please take a look at that on our socials. Make sure that you are subscribed to our socials. We are Borahae_Con on most everything except for Facebook, where we are Borahae. I'm just going to keep switching it. Borahae Con with no underscore. But subscribe, because that's where we put all our news. So look for that this week. And as long as we're talking about reading into things in the Bangtan world, in the Bangtan universe, this is a great time to introduce Karin. We've talked before about all the different guests we have coming, and we will get to that in a minute. But for right now, since this is a really great segue, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Karin, and she's going to talk about a little teaser about what her and Q are going to talk about during their panel or presentation, and also what their YouTube channel is about. If you have not yet opened the window into different tunnel of the rabbit hole that is the Bangtan, and you're not sure if you want to, or if you do, what you're going to find. She's the woman. So
okay,
go for it.
Well, thanks. Actually, I was tempted to pop in when you started talking about butterflies, because Q and I have a theory about the butterfly, which I don't know if we should say now or not. But the antagonist, the big antagonist of the whole BU, which stands for Bangtan Universe, for those of you that don't know, is a being that disguises itself as a cat. And it also appears in TXT's extended universe, and it's clearly the same creature. So anyway, there is an opposing entity that seems to be working with our heroes, the 7 members of BTS, their characters. And we don't have any clear idea, or at least the story has not given us a clear idea of what that entity is. We've never seen it. But Q and I have developed a theory that it's a butterfly. We have a lot of good evidence for this. And as usual, there's a whole video explaining it. There's not an easy way to explain some of the most difficult concepts in the BU. But the short version would be that throughout BTS's history, beginning with the VCRs that came during the Red Bullet tour, they started a story that continues on till today, where each of them is playing a character that's somewhat like them, somewhat not. They start out with horrible traumas. Some of them are unaliving themselves, and somehow or other, things are changing, and we don't know. For 3 years, at least the people that started watching this in the beginning, took 3 years to figure out what the heck was happening. All we knew was that something very weird was going on with Jin. So I don't know if I should drop the spoiler or not about what it is that was happening all this time and that's continuing forward.
You probably don't want to drop that spoiler yet.
Yeah. Wait,
Right.
I was gonna say, wait on the spoiler for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You
No
don't want to
problem
drop
at
that
all.
one yet. But I was hoping you'd sort of explain kind of what the Bangtan universe is
Yeah,
to people who don't even know what the BU is, which you kind of did. Do you want to expand on just even what it is at all anymore for someone who's maybe a newer army and just doesn't even know what that is? And also the HYYH, first of all, what in the world does that stand for? Second of all, what is that? So those are the two things I would think would be great.
That is good. And I'll tell you what, Q told me this would happen, and I've got to admit that I didn't believe her until I got posts like that. There are some new armies and even some older armies who think that, for instance, J-Hope's mother abandoned him at an amusement park when he was small, and that he grew up in an orphanage.
And that's part of the Bangtan universe. It's not real, right?
That is something that happened to his character. I can say that without spoiling anything.
Right.
But that is the one that everybody seems to really glom onto. That did not happen. J-Hope has a wonderful relationship with his biological mother and father, who are both still alive and have not abandoned him. And none of the other stuff that's in the BU videos has happened. It is all fantasy. And I mean that in both senses of the term. The story is a fantasy. It's sort of fantasy science fiction. The things that happen there cannot be understood in normal life. They contain fantasy elements. I already mentioned the cat and the butterfly. They're entities with extraordinary powers, but the guys themselves are basically ordinary human beings dealing with a lot of things, and everything that they struggle with represents something that ordinary people struggle with. So this goes back to, Amanda, your idea of wellness as a theme, because they are showing us what it takes to navigate through childhood on the way to adulthood, what you need to learn, what you need to do to sort of come into your own and be a healthy human being, somebody with love for yourself and others, somebody with purpose. So that's been an ongoing theme all through the BU, in the midst of all this other stuff. It's a lot to take.
Explain to people, first of all, if the BU and the HYYH era, if those things intersect, if they're separate,
Yes.
explain that first. And then
Yes.
secondly, explain what exactly the BU all runs through. Is it just their videos? Is it every single piece of content they've ever put out? Is it,
Okay.
you know, a lot in these places, but only sprinkled with hints in other places, and, you know, that kind of thing?
Okay. All right. First of all, HYYH is an abbreviation for Korean words that translated mean the most beautiful moment of life. And this is the HYYH is 2 albums plus a compilation album that added a few more songs. And the videos that are that are produced for the HYYH era, all or most of them are direct BU content, canon content. And you see the very first one is I Need You. And if you watch that, you will see what each of the guys is dealing with. Some of it is pretty shocking. If there's anybody out there that's triggered by some of, well, you know, people with heavy mental issues, some of the things they do, it's not for somebody who gets triggered easily. I'll say that without saying more. But they're all suffering badly in different ways. And we see some horrible things happen.
In this fantasy universe. I just want to say that in case
anyone right. In the universe. They are all struggling.
In case anyone comes in and goes, what?
Yeah, no, none of this happened for real. But this is just the start, because as you watch these videos, you start to realize, wait a minute, this happened, but now, no, that can't have happened because now this is happening. No, wait, now this is happening. Okay, why is Seokjin lying on a bed with lilies all around him? Is he dead? Okay, spoiler there, no, he's not dead. But, you know, there's just so much. It's a great big mystery to solve. And that's why the early theorists in the BU got involved. Early Army theorists were determined to figure out what was going on. And BU kept stringing out this, BTS kept stringing out the storyline for 3 years before they revealed the answer, which you can glean from Euphoria if you watch it with knowledge of what's gone before. That was when they laid it bare. And then shortly after that, they brought out some more material. So I'll tell you some.
When you say in Euphoria, do you mean the lyrics, the video? Okay.
Yeah. If you see the MV for Euphoria and you have watched the preceding videos, then you will say, oh, so that's it. And most people will probably have guessed it before then. So that is how you find the big spoiler. And after that, the story does continue because the cat is continuing to mess with their lives and trying to do horrible things to them. So you asked about what was involved. Oh, did you have a question before I go on?
Go ahead with what you were going to say.
Okay. All right. You asked what was involved. First is the MVs, the music videos, and the big beginning, the official start was I Need You. But if you go back to the VCRs that were presented during the Red Bullet tour, you can see a preview that shows you how the 7 characters met. So the VCRs are important. There are some Easter eggs, and it's amazing to look at those now and see how far ahead the production staff of the BU was planning, because there is stuff that's in those VCRs that did not come into view in the BU until like 2019 or 2020. So they've had this in their head for years. Okay, so we've got some VCRs, we've got the MVs. There are 2 novels which you have to buy separately. They're called HYYH, The Notes, books 1 and 2.
Are those only on Weverse, or where do people buy those?
You can buy those all over the place. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy used copies in any place that sells used books. There are a lot of different ways to get them. There are also little mini books that come with the various albums that have always come with the various albums. I don't know if you guys have bought the box sets, but if you did, you might have gotten some little mini books with them. And the earlier ones were probably just in Korean. But the cool thing about the mini books is that each mini book, depending on the version of the album you buy, you're going to get some different entries in the mini books. And the way that the HYH, the Notes books are structured, they're written as notes. So you get each character's point of view. You know, it's like May 22nd, Jungkook entry, blah, blah, blah happened, you know, and then after that, you might get the same story told from RM's point of view, or you might see that somebody else was doing something on a different day. So the mini books offer entries as well. And there are those on Twitter too. And some of those are only found in those sources. It's like you might have to get a particular mini book from one particular version of Map of the Soul Persona to see a certain note. And it's a great big deal, that note. So you see, Big Hit is counting on armies to coordinate with each other. The only way to solve this puzzle is to talk with other theorists. And there's website after website. But from what Q and I have noticed, people kind of dropped the BU in 2019 when it went on hiatus, along with everything else that went on hiatus due to COVID. We realize now that the members were planning on going into the military right after they did the tour for the Map of the Soul 7. And then everything got pushed back. And as a result, we've got this time gap between the last chapter of the BU and what we're going to get this year when the guys come back. We also think there might possibly be something new dropping in April, because that was when the BU officially started 10 years ago. So there's a very strong possibility. Yeah.
You might have a lot to talk about in your presentation at the con.
Yes.
Well, I mean, not like you wouldn't have a lot to talk about anyway, but you might have new things to talk about.
Exactly. We might be processing so hard we don't even know how to speak in full sentences.
I have two questions. Number one, do you speak or read Korean or no?
Just a teeny bit. Q does a little bit more than me, but thankfully there are always armies to translate. So
okay. Those old mini books that were, just in one certain thing, just in Korean, you found a way to figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's not all. There are also graphic lyrics books, which are not as critical, but they're really cool as well. They're just some artists, different artists have been selected to illustrate some of the key songs. And I can't tell you off the top of my head which songs they are, but they're from the HYYH era. And they're lovely, and they have some little Easter eggs in them, and they're just very beautiful books. So you could get those if you wanted. There's a trailer for the graphic lyrics books, which you can see online for free on YouTube. A really great source of information is the Bangtan Universe game, which is no longer active, but people have posted whole walkthroughs of the game, and they are full of information. These are on YouTube. They are full of information that you won't find anywhere else.
When did that end? When did the game end?
I am not sure. They aren't doing updates. I don't know if you can still play it or not, but you can see the full walkthrough. There are, I think, 8 of them. There's one for each character, and then there's a second one for Seokjin. By the way, they use their real names. It's not their BTS nicknames. So it's Seokjin instead of Jin. It's Yoongi instead of Suga, and so on. And they're one of the game things that is just completely invaluable is a trailer, a 10-minute long game trailer, which summarizes all of HYYH, the Notes Book 2. And a lot of people have not read or even know about HYYH, the Notes Book 2. And that is a chapter of the story that is just mind-blowing and is so different from everything that's gone before. And it's just anybody who thought that the BU was over with has not read Book 2, because Book 2 ends in a place where you do not end a story. It's a cliffhanger. It's a great big cliffhanger, which has a lot of people pulling their hair out. And yeah, but the HYYH era, or that's people also call it that, or the BU, is definitely 100% coming back this year. There will be more to the story. We will find out how that cliffhanger resolves, and I can't wait. And Q and I have made a lot of predictions based on all our studies of what's coming next. We think we know where the story is going next.
So you're going to ask in the panel whether people want those spoilers from you or not, right?
Right. I tell you what, no one should come to our panel unless they're prepared for spoilers, because there's no way to discuss the story in any detail without spoilers.
Let me ask you this, because you mentioned, and because it's true, that a lot of the BU is going to be triggering and has very just darker topics and things of that nature that they're trying to tell through this story. So your panel, your presentation, are you going to kind of read the room first and figure out how triggery you can get? Are you going to put a trigger warning on it and say, unless you're ready for that, don't come to my panel? Or like what kind of what can people expect?
Well, I would put a trigger panel on the description. Trigger panel? Did I say panel? Okay. I would put a trigger warning on that panel saying these topics will be discussed. And I don't know if I should say them aloud here or not, but definitely put them on the brochure. And just for the record,
is that just because there's no way to talk about it without?
Right,
well,
exactly.
if you've seen the video for I Need You,
yes.
If you've seen Run, if you've seen any of those videos, you know what content she's talking about.
Right,
I guess.
exactly right.
It's not going to be a surprise to any army if they've seen those MVs, I guess.
Sure. I just want people to know how deep is she going to go with it? Is it going to be more triggering than just watching the video?
It won't be any more triggering than watching the video, because it's what happened in the video. Those are the
big long disclaimer. Trigger warning, but not anything more than what you saw in the video.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can see that I haven't yet prepared any sort of presentation or speech yet.
Yeah, because the other thing is you're going to have to try and keep it under the time limit we gave you, and I have a feeling that you're going to have people hanging on your coattails the rest of the day.
I'm sure
that's not enough. More.
I hope so.
What about this?
I hope so. I hope so.
It's interesting, though. I just want to say really quick, because I think it's interesting, because like you're saying, it takes a variety of army to work together for certain things. But what I think is really neat, and this is just me, because I don't know how much you know about Amanda and my story, but I became Army through my daughter, who was Army first. And we watched, she watched some videos before I did. We watched some stuff together. And so my daughters actually saw a lot of the HYYH kind of videos before I had even seen them. And they had already, as baby Army, they were like, Mom, there's just it's like this whole part is like a story. And then there's in their minds, they went back to the beginning. And so they, even without knowing there was a BU or anything, they intuitively kind of saw okay, so there was the young them at the school age. And then there was this transitional, you get a lot of flashbacks of why are our characters the way they are in these films? Right. We're moving forward with how do we process that and grow into these grown-ups, and what do we do with that? These are things that my kids you know, and they're teenagers, but like they were kind of intuitively gathering just from watching this. And that's part of what they loved about BTS was that they were like, wow, they're sharing these real things, you know, and you can see like, oh, they're young and they're excited.
Yeah.
Now they're sad and now they're upset, but now they're hopeful. And they're, you know, it's like a very
Right.
interesting transition that I think a lot of Army enjoys. And so I think they're going to be really excited to hear these kind of theories because even without knowing that there's a BU, Army kind of knows there's this other story that's told through their visuals, you know?
Right. Yeah. And what you said about them sometimes being happy and sometimes being sad is very important. Especially when you watch I Need You and Run, you see that they're very happy when they're together. And when they're alone, you see their private traumas that they haven't dared to share with each other. And they can only look in the mirror happily when they're together. There are group shots of them running through tunnels and they find these mirrors and they're, you know, hamming it up in front of the mirrors together. But then you look at one of them alone in the mirror, like for instance, J-Hope, and he's, you know, swallowing pills and he's looking in the mirror and everything is just sickly looking, you know, and that's a big part of their story is when they're alone, they are miserable. When they're together, they can be happy, but in order to really solve anything, to deal with their traumas, they don't have to just be together. They have to open up and they have to help each other. And that's a continuing theme for BTS. We've all seen that, you know, that goes on to the present. We've seen how much they've all helped each other. And so the same messages that they're using in their lyrics, they're using in their songs. And there are Easter eggs in their songs. My favorite, J-Hope totally intentionally spoiled the big spoiler in one of his songs. I won't say which one since you don't want me to tell you the spoiler. But I mean, he just threw it right out there. And it's hilarious. I don't think anybody noticed that he did that. See, I'll tell you something that Q and I keep saying to each other. Since we seem to be the only theorists that have started up and are going now and predicting the future, we keep telling each other, this is our Everest. We want this. We want to be the first ones to find this stuff. And we keep looking for things that we don't think anybody else has spotted. And they certainly could have. You know, we're not saying for sure nobody has been this route before. And I'm sure a lot of individual armies just on their own are doing it and just haven't, you know, shared with anybody or posted anything online. But we're looking for the things nobody has noticed, and we're trying to explain the things that people are still confused about. And as a matter of fact, right now, I am going through the Wings era. This is something I'm doing by myself because Q says, oh, that's a monster. You do it.
I was going to say.
I am going through the Wings era and examining each of the videos and explaining, okay, this is what this symbolizes. See, I'm a former high school English teacher, so I'm really big into symbolism, and I love movies and movie symbolism, and I've watched all kinds of documentaries and behind-the-scenes stuff, so I sort of know the things to look for. And so I really enjoy doing that. And the Wings era is my favorite for that reason. It's just so rich and so beautiful.
My initial talk with Karin on the phone basically reminded me of AP English in high school, where all we did was sit and dissect every motif, everything, every symbol of a work of literature for the entire time we were in there. And everyone, you know, just be hands up. And that was just the whole class was just basically what she does with the BU. But that was English class for 11th and 12th grade for sure.
I hope it was a good English class for you.
It was.
Okay,
those are my favorites. But I did like the. But you totally took me back to that when we first talked.
Yeah.
So when you said you were an English teacher, it didn't shock me.
Yeah. You should have heard me teaching The Great Gatsby. I mean, the symbolism in The Great Gatsby. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love The Great Gatsby. But anyway. Won't get off
so we did have one comment that said the BU is a hard thing to follow for her. So, you know, that's why we have you. That's why you're going to do this this panel and this presentation with Q.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I guess for those of you like that comment that also think it's hard to follow, go check it out. But then, like I said, I'm just afraid I think that you could do like an entire week longer probably of 24 hours, talking about it for a week. And people would still be hanging on your coattails asking questions. So that's my only fear, is that you're going to do your presentation and people are just going to hang on you.
What about one more thing? No, that's
yeah.
I think it's one of the things that's great though, is that Army is so great about that. Like they're truly invested, and they really, as you were kind of saying, there's this trend of the way that it follows. And one of the things that I've been noticing lately because it's funny, the whole diving down the rabbit hole, that particular phrase, because we actually, in some of our live streams right before our last con, we had used that phrase for some comments. We were chatting, and one of the people that came to the con was in the comments and chatting with us about how you like you need a flashlight, and because it's so deep, and then there were flashlights there. It was so amazing. And so, having said that, I think what's interesting is, as I'm diving a little bit more with my teenagers, is what you're saying, the concept of how the words, the Easter eggs that they give, and they tell the story, and you can see it running through it. Like one of the things that was so interesting to me is how a lot of the early stuff focusing is on them telling others, like, to love themselves, like, you're valuable, you're worth it. Somebody might say, you don't look this way or do this, but you're amazing. That's kind of just other focused. And then you see this shift to where they like almost realize, like, now we have to learn how to apply this to ourselves. And then a lot of the songs became about them learning to love themselves, where they too. And so I think that's really interesting, how you're talking about that, connecting with the BU, this external antagonist versus this kind of helper sort of thing. And I'm interested to hear your theories on where that kind of transitions in terms of what we see external versus internal for them, and their music reflects that. So.
It does. And we don't know the full story of how much the guys were involved in creating their characters, but we know they were involved.
Okay.
And we know that they put some elements of their personal stories and personalities into their characters. So it's, we don't know how much, but there's definitely some of it in there. And then, for instance, in Wings in particular, I'll give you one example that doesn't spoil the story in any way. Each of the guys has his own special individual song, his own solo in the Wings album, right? And then they've used parts of their song in their individual MVs for that era. As a matter of fact, they're called short films because they're not really MVs. They're just part of the story. So let me take RM, for example, and his song is called Reflection. But if you watch the video for his song, for his character in Wings, the only line that you hear from the song over and over is, "I wish I could love myself." And RM wrote that for himself. The whole song, if you look at the lyrics, is about him, the real Kim Namjoon, going to a place he likes and watching other people and feeling sort of alone and half happy, half unhappy, and wishing he could love himself. And so he's put that into his character story since it's in this video. And then the next era is Love Yourself. And we see how the characters kind of slowly learn to love themselves with a lot of missteps along the way. And we also know that from things RM has said, that he continues to struggle with this idea of loving himself because he's so hard on himself. So they really are putting a lot of themselves in there. And I think that they're using the BU, at least in part, to heal themselves.
I have a quick question. That's not a spoiler. Do you think, because I know you'll be going way more in depth, but do you think that their solo albums, and I'm not talking about Wings era, I'm talking about more recent kind of solo albums, do you think those have any reflection into the BU, or do you think that those are separate? You think they're connected too? Okay.
Yes, every one of them. Q and I have been discussing this. We've been saying, oh, yeah, did you notice that? Did you notice that? Yes, we are seeing all kinds of little Easter eggs. And the one who's doing the most of it is Suga. If you look at the VCRs from his August D tour, every scene that you see flashing on the VCRs, unless it's something he created specifically for this concert, or unless it's something like Digita that he, created for his own music, all the BTS stuff that's flashing up is something connected with the BU. Yeah, they're all BU songs. They're clips from Euphoria, from Young Forever, from Fake Love, all of it. All of it is BU related. And the other guys have done it too in different ways. They've each done it in their own way. They're dropping Easter eggs left and right.
Okay.
Yes. So
you did mention that Euphoria was sort of the answer to that. So that was because I remember when we were talking, I was asking, I was like, well, that's interesting. Why would they put it in a solo song? Have that be like kind of the answer rather than.
But Euphoria to me doesn't. I don't know. When you said it was Jungkook's solo song, it threw me because I've never thought of it as a solo song. Maybe because he didn't write it himself, or at least I don't know. Did he?
Well, just that he's the only one singing it. No one else is singing it.
Yeah. I just I had never thought of it as a solo song, but I see what you're saying. I got it, but it just took me a second. But all seven
You're
of them.
You're too far into that hole.
I am. It's like a rabbit hole within the rabbit hole. Maybe a city at the
like
bottom.
Inception.
What Megan was saying earlier about the flashlights. So when we were talking in last year on these live streams before, and one of the other people in the comments was saying about how it's so dark, you need a flashlight or whatever. She actually threw us off at the con because Megan and I were just running around. I mean, it's the first con. We were crazy busy. Hopefully we'll be a little less crazy busy this year now that we've done it once. Not that we weren't prepared because we were, but it was still like, okay, we got to just make sure it's amazing. But anyway, so she comes, this woman who was in our comments, who I don't know if she wants her name out or not, but anyway, she at some point we were doing something and she came and put into both of our hands these little, like, I don't even know, plastic. They weren't like regular flashlights. They were flat, but they're
magnets.
So you can magnets, yeah. So she puts them into our hands, and she just puts it into our hand. She's like, "Here's your flashlight." And because we were in that space, I don't know if Megan, you got it, but I was like, "Huh?"
I laughed so hard. Yeah, it was good.
I did not get it for like hours, and then I think somebody finally told me, and I was like, "Oh, it was about that flashlight thing for the rabbit hole that we." Okay, I got it. But I was like so in organizing con mode. I had but she slips this flashlight magnet into my hand, and I was like, "Thanks." I don't know what that is, but thank you.
That's
so good. No, so, I love that. I think that's a really great. I'm excited to hear. I mean, I will be busy, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to lose you, Megan.
No, she's like, "This is Megan."
I'm gonna have to talk to you a lot on the walkie during their panel and be like, "So where are you?
What are you doing? How's it going?"
I fall down the wormhole.
She's like worried people are gonna ask questions. I'm the one in the back, like, "Ooh, pick me." No, but I think it's really interesting, and honestly, it's great because I'll be fair. Like, I only recently even heard about the BU, and I've been in Army for a while, but I guess I kind of heard that it existed, but had no real concept of what it was. But it really, even like in simple things, they comment about their persona versus them. Like even like one of their, I think it was BuzzFeed, one of them where they're like, pick your favorite, emoji, or pick your favorite like thing. And V had the tiger, which is V, and then he had the little bear, which is Tang, and he's like, oh, well, this is me, and this is my persona, and he talks kind of about that difference. And I thought that was really an interesting thing, and I feel like that's that kind of ties in, but I'm not saying anything else. That's great.
Yeah, it does. And
no spoilers.
Well, that isn't spoilers exactly, because, or at least not from the point of view I'm about to talk about it. They get into Jungian symbolism, which sounds frightening, and I'm not sure if I should use that word in the actual con, but Carl Jung is a famous psychotherapist, and BTS use a lot of his ideas, especially in the later chapters of the BU. And Carl Jung is the one that came up with the idea of the persona, the mask that you put on to face people in the world. And you have a lot of different personas, which you can use depending on circumstances. Then your ego is your true self. And then the shadow is the part of yourself that you squash down. Suga sings about shadow, in the Map of the Soul 7. And at the same time, Hobie's singing about ego, and then RM sang about persona. Those are the three main parts of a person's psyche. And the thing about the shadow that people don't understand is it's not necessarily something negative. It's something you don't want to admit about yourself.
Very true. It can be something really positive.
Right.
All my years of life coaching, I can tell you, yes, it can definitely be something very positive. But it's also something, if you see it in somebody else and you say, I don't have that, I don't want that, I don't want to be that, you probably got it.
I should have realized you would know all of this.
I got a little bit up my sleeve with the holistic life coaching and stuff. So yeah, I took a decent amount of psychology classes, and I studied a lot of it on my own to kind of pull it into the rest of the life coaching. But yeah. So I don't know if you can see the comments or not, Karin, but we do have somebody in the comments who says that they used to have a notebook back in 2017 with theories in it, and they hope that they can find it.
Well, you know what? I had clicked on the wrong tab. I didn't see all of these people that are commenting. Hi, everybody.
I didn't know if you guys could see it or if only I could. I wasn't sure.
I wasn't on the right tab. I'm so glad to see that people are joining us now. That's great. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to share with people. I always want to answer more questions and talk with more people about it. And right now, we're starting to get more subscriptions on our channel. We're doing well, and we have a few dedicated commenters. But
we're going to help you do better because you should be out there more.
I want more comments. I want to answer
more comments.
Yeah, I love to talk about this stuff.
We are going to get you more comments. That's why I go looking. I go looking for what I know people are going to like at the con. Yeah. And, big channel, small channel, I don't care. If it is quality stuff, that's what we want.
That's right.
Great. Well, thank you so much for answering me or asking me. I'm sorry it took so long to.
Yeah, it took me forever to get you.
I now have our email address on our channel.
Note to YouTubers out there, if you ever want somebody to connect with you and ask you to come be a guest at their thing or whatever, you got to put your email on your stuff or make some social pages or something.
I was going to say, or have some sort of a link to connect to you.
Something. Yeah. These two, I managed to find her in a Facebook army group where she posted her video, and I was like, I've been trying to find you.
and then for anybody else who's watching, you said that you'd posted a couple of comments under our videos on YouTube.
Yeah, and she thought I was spam.
We deleted your comments. The spam
deleted me.
I was embarrassed.
That's funny.
I didn't know
That's
any other way to get a hold of her, so I was commenting on her videos and saying, "Hey, reach out. We want to chat with you. Email us. I have no way of getting a hold of you. You have no way to get a hold of you. Just And so when we finally did talk, she's like, "Yeah, I thought that was spam."
Oh, that's funny.
I'm not spam. I'm not spam. I'm real.
I am glad you saw that post that I made though and commented, because I'm so excited to do this, and so is Q. Yeah, we can't wait.
I'm so happy you're coming. People are gonna, like I said, my worry is that we're gonna have to pull people away from you. We're gonna be in the dance party at night, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, Karin, tell me some more things while we dance."
Yeah, exactly. What about the song we're dancing to right now?
Yeah, let's go down the wormhole of all the symbolism in this song we're dancing to. Yeah,
or in this particular dance, whatever this means. I hope he does that move. Heck, if I know what that means. I can't even do
some dancing emojis from Jamie. Is that what that is? Really hard
to I'm glad to hear Jamie says that sounds cool. I'm so glad.
Oh, for sure. She's the one with the notebook. If you can find it, Jamie, bring it to the con.
Yeah, Jamie, love to talk to you. All right.
Not that I want you to tear apart your entire house, but if you find it.
Yeah. No, we salute all the old guard Bangtan we salute all the old guard theorists. You know, we didn't. Q was Army longer than I was. I think she joined about 2016. I joined in 2020. Although I will say that I did not join through Dynamite, which was how most of the 2020ers did. I joined through a Try Guys episode. But anyway, Q knows the background more, but I got into it later. And then I heard about the Bangtan universe and I tried to resist. Yeah, whoa, 2015, 2016. I heard about the Bangtan universe and I tried to stay away from it because I knew it would suck me right in, because it's the kind of thing that does. And I just couldn't stay away. I just gave in and just let myself be dragged in. And now I love it. And I want to know.
Need a flashlight.
Yeah. I think my eyes are just glowing with excitement, and that's enough to leave me around.
That could be. Also, I think it's an occupational hazard on your point. Because of the whole English teacher thing. That's another reason why you probably had a hard time staying away. It was very much an occupational hazard.
Yeah, you're right. And I do the same thing with movies. You get me talking about the right sort of movie, and I'll go on just as long about that as I would about the BU.
We're gonna have to, at some point in the day, we'll have to give you like a mask, some kind of like disguise glasses or something, so that you can like, you know, go to the bathroom or eat something or whatever without, you know, everyone asking you questions. We'll have to incognito you for a little while.
Oh, just let me take a bite and swallow before you ask me the next question. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
There'll be people in the next stall in the bathroom. Hey, is that you?
Let me flush.
You got a minute, right?
Gonna need a persona, is what you're saying. She's gonna need a persona.
I'll tie up my hair. And
that's what I'm saying. Okay. That's totally it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Awesome.
Okay, so I think we're gonna leave that part at that, because again, we could go on with that one forever, and we're just gonna have to try to somehow condense it at the con, because we do have lots of other amazing programming as well. But yes, so we go out and we find you people, and we find you programming that we know that you guys are gonna, you know, be interested in and love. So we've got Karin and Q from the Bangtan Universe Wormhole. Check out their YouTube channel if you haven't already. They want more subscribers. They want more comments. So if you want to, you know, maybe know a few things before you come, so that people don't follow her around all day. You might still, but check out their channel. They've got a lot of stuff on there already. They've gone through a lot of different theories and different eras already. You said currently you're on Wings.
Which is not to say that we haven't already talked about other theories.
They've talked about a lot of things already. So get on there, subscribe, you know, follow your new rabbit hole for a little bit before April 26th. But again, just a reminder that we also have BTS Reactors, John Reeves from last year. Again, we have Tej, who I bet you and Tej would get along really well too. He's a really big theorist, not theorist, but he does a lot of analysis. He's way more than a reactor. He does a lot of analysis. He does it a lot from a musical perspective though too, but he does get into different psychology and things and stuff too. Not quite as much as you, but you guys might want to chat for a little minute.
His channel, I've been meaning to.
Yeah, no, you guys got to swap channels beforehand too, so you can.
I will absolutely do that. I will do that.
We've got Yali back from last year with two new people from her crew, teaching and dancing. We've got K-pop Dad and his funny edits. Did you guys see the amazing one he did about the con? It was so funny.
It was so good.
For K-pop Dad on stage, a parody on Hope on the stage.
Yep.
We have Army Flower Shop. Hopefully we'll get her on maybe one of these live streams. If not, she'll be at the con. Wellness with 875. She had a little snafu, but she's gonna make it. She's still working on her travel plans. But we will be announcing her soon too. And her assistance. That's another whole wellness aspect of BTS and the BTS lore and universe and all that it is. Trying to think. We got what else? So much. We're still working on the entertainment. It should be wrapped up soon.
Yes.
We are still working on it. It should be wrapped up very soon. I've been trying to get it wrapped up, but it will be wrapped up soon. But look forward to the t-shirts that you can buy. That will help us with everything too. Remember, as always, that buying your tickets early, if you haven't already gotten them, helps us push forward with a lot of these extra things that we're trying to add at the last minute faster. So don't wait. Also, ticket prices do go up on March 15th. Right now they're 55. They do go up to 65. So don't wait for lots of reasons. What else? Did I miss anything, Megan?
I don't think any new things. We talked about the t-shirts that will be up for sale. And yeah, the other stuff is mostly what we're working on. So
BTS news. Happy birthday, Hobie.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Hobie.
He's our hope. We're his hope. He's J-Hope.
He is a busy dude right now. He's got all his rehearsing he's doing. He's got, he had jumped on his live for his birthday. I caught up on all my stuff today. I caught up on Run Jin. I caught up on his Hobie's birthday translation, his live translation from his B-Day. Did you guys catch up on any of that?
Is it up in English now?
If you go to, I watched Hybe Boy's channel today, and he actually went through he did a Korean and an English, and just kind of did recaps. It wasn't like the whole thing with English trans, but he did recaps. So that's just the one I happened to catch today.
Okay.
And then Jin was rock climbing. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. Being his usual self. We all know what Jin is like.
Love Jin. Love him.
Yeah.
I will give you a tiny spoiler for Hobie's live. Jim and Jungkook were on the phone with him, so that got to actually hear them for a little bit. So that was nice.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them all back again.
Oh, it's gonna be just.
Poor Namjoon. You can tell that last picture that he posted on Instagram where he's half wrapped in a scarf and his head's half out of the picture. He looks like he's been kidnapped and he's begging for release.
I didn't see that one. I've seen some of his other ones, but I didn't see that one.
It is hilarious. He's not making any secret of it. That's why I'm saying it, because
yeah, your man is done, Jamie. He is done for sure. I've seen a lot of pictures where he's done and the letters where he's done. I think he was done before he ever started, though. Honestly.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. I can say that. I'm from South Carolina. Bless his heart.
He's been done for a long time.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But other BTS news, besides J-Hope's birthday and concert and Run Jin, pretty much Hope on the stage, and it's J-Hope's era right now, pretty much. So
Mm-hmm.
And reminder about that for the con, because last year we did the Jin themed contest because Jin had just gotten released. Although it's been some months now since Hobie's gotten released, he still is the most recent person to have been released out of the 7. And so we are doing a J-Hope themed contest this year. Those of you who bought tickets will get more information about what exactly that means, but it's going to be epic. Let me just tell you.
It's going to be super fun.
It's going to be a fun contest. Remember still to work on your fan signs and your fan art if you're not working on those, everybody.
Yes.
We want to see.
Gonna have our voting boxes out. It's gonna be awesome.
Our pretty voting boxes. Yes. If there isn't anything that anyone else has a question about or wants to jump in on, whether on our panel here or in the comments about either the con or BTS news, we can start playing games. So I did pre-tell these ladies ahead of time, not a lot ahead of time, but right before we get on here, what we're doing this week. But people in the chat, we definitely want you to play too, as always. Today's contest is 3 things. And the 3 things game is you are going to give people a scenario. You are in a scenario with one of the members. What 3 things do you want with you in that scenario? So you two have had a chance to think about the first one I threw out there. And like I said, they don't all have to be, this extreme. but let's say you're on a deserted island with RM. What 3 things you want with you. So Megan.
I would just like to say I did not actually hear this because this is when I was running to.
Oh, you did. Okay. Do you want me to do Karin first?
Sure. I heard you say a 3-thing game, but I did not I didn't hear what that entailed.
Oh, well, that's just normal for you anyway, because you never do know ahead of time.
On the spot, what would I want with RM on a deserted island?
Yeah, 3 objects you can have with you.
Number 1 should be very easy. What?
I mean, well, if you want to go first, go ahead. You go first. I'm going to take a second to think about what I would like.
Right. Number 1 would be as many books as we can carry between ourselves.
I figured books were your
books upon books. Number 2 would have to be cooking utensils that I can use because we don't want him around them.
Yeah,
good one.
And let's see. I don't know if he has any carpentry skills. I think he has some, doesn't he? So some carpentry tools. I don't have any carpentry skills, but I remember that episode of Run BTS where his team was competing against Suga's team, and he seemed to be in charge. So I'm assuming he knows a little bit about putting things together. So that would be number 3.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Megan?
I was thinking more like survival mode, like how are we gonna like escape from said island, more than like enjoy being there. No, I'm just saying that's where my brain went. I was like, well,
yeah, there's no rules. So Karin, your brain can go one way and Megan's can go another. That's totally fine.
You're like, how can I enjoy hanging out on this island with RM? And I'm like, how can I get RM and I off of this island? Yeah.
Jamie doesn't want to escape because RM is her bias, so she's not leaving the island.
No, this is actually the dream. She was like, I don't know what you're talking about, Megan. Thinking for like health SOS mode. It's giving Pirates of the Caribbean vibes when they're on the island together, you know. Why is the rum gone?
Exactly. We have to have rum. That should be item number 4.
I was gonna say I'm probably no. I would say okay. I was originally thinking. So I was thinking tools of some sort that I could use to make sure we had fresh water and some way to create structure. So whatever you want to like a toolkit, if you will.
I like how you guys think when I say you can only have 3 things, and you're like, you don't say a tool. You're just like, I want a tool kit. That's one thing.
Hey,
it has all the tools in it.
I have 4 kids. I know how these games go. If you're not specific, anything goes. Okay. So
you watched enough for Run BTS to know how these things work.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen Run BTS. Yeah, probably that. I would probably say, fresh water, something to create. Okay, so I would bring fresh water. Mm-hmm. I would actually bring alcohol, and not for drinking purposes only, but alcohol is actually a fantastic antiseptic and other things that help sterilize stuff if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. And then,
which with RM, we really should have a first aid.
I was going to say, do you assume he's going to get hurt?
With RM,
I'm just putting it out there.
People should start to change the narrative for him instead of constantly reinforcing that he's going to hurt himself, though.
Oh,
you got to change that narrative.
Yes, no, he's going to do great. He's going to do great. And I'm going to make sure that he doesn't get any ouchies in the process.
Ouchies.
And then, that would be a bag of tools or whatever you want to call it. Tools.
Toolkit.
Water. Alcohol. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what about you, Amanda?
Oh, I didn't think about it because I gave it to you guys.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, because then you guys have to give me one, or the one of you has to give both of us one. The other 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just going to give you guys one more, just because, so it's not like Desert Island one. I'm just going to give you the other one I had in mind, and then you guys could go. So my other one I gave you ahead of time was, you're at the gym with Jungkook. What 3 things do you want with you?
Ooh. Okay. Sorry.
Are you ready, Megan? Go for it.
I'm excited for this one. I know.
Okay, go.
Okay. Water bottle, but like the electrolyte kind of water bottle, hydration. We're gonna have a natural fiber mat to clean all the stuff off. You know, like you know what I'm talking about. Okay. And
You're cleaning.
if we're working out, we do not want to touch gross, sweaty, like just hanging around. Okay, that came out not what I meant. But the thing is, we are going to be having a good time. We need to stay hydrated. We need to stay clean, and we're going to also bring. We're going to bring some sort of speaker to play really awesome, fun music together. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be lots of.
Jamie in the comments is going to be apparently completely overwhelmed because she needs extra oxygen and a paramedic.
That would be me. That would be me. I am totally out of shape and I have arthritic knees, so I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot of exercising. I would bring a bathing suit and convince him that we would just do swimming activities, which he would be fine with. And I'm not saying that to get his shirt off.
Of course not.
No, it's just that.
Of course not.
I do enjoy swimming, and I know he does too. So we would be swimming, and a boom box, put at a safe distance from the pool's edge. And
also, I love how we can tell everybody's age because you just said boom box.
Oh, I didn't think about that. What do people call it today?
Oh, it wouldn't be a boombox. It would probably just be like
a Bluetooth speaker.
Bluetooth speaker.
But I mean, you can't.
But I'm in the boombox era, Karin. So I know what you were talking about.
Listen, I had a boombox too. I did. I am used to my kids telling me how wrong I am about the things that I call things. So I'm trying to like no, I'm not for camera.
The comments. Are you guys seeing this? Okay, so Teresa, we will get to you in a second because I can't give me a second. But Jamie, I got a question. So the paramedic and the extra oxygen, like this could go both ways. Do you need those just because you're at a gym with Jungkook and he's working out for yourself, just because you're there with him, or because you are also working out? That's a question. And Teresa needs a camera for proof of life. I love these comments. We've got some,
good.
Yeah.
So good.
Both, Jamie says. Okay. All right. I didn't know if you'd even be able to work out at that point, like if it was just over, you know.
Yeah. No, that would be Ella. Yeah. Ella, my daughter would be like, I'm gonna need a camera and I'm gonna need a paper bag to hyperventilate into.
I thought my third one was going to be a camera.
I can only have 3 objects. One of them is a paper bag.
Exactly. Why do you need that? Well, I need to breathe, so that's important. Hilarious.
She was so cute. She was so cute at the movie, at the Jungkook movie.
Yeah,
I know. It's nice to see you. I'm glad this is your first time catching the live.
Hello.
Where have you come to us from? Are you already an attendee? Do you have a ticket for the con, or did you just find us somewhere online? Because we talk about the con and we play fun BTS games, and we don't only talk about the con. We do other fun things too. But tell us how you got to us, and what the connection is.
Baby picture. Look at the little baby picture.
Yeah, it's cute.
So cute.
All right, so those are my 2 for you guys. So, Karin, why don't you give Megan and I one?
All right. I am going to go extreme.
Okay. All right.
Because you say I couldn't.
I didn't say you couldn't. No.
Say you're in a zombie apocalypse with no one but Hobie.
And we need three things that we can have.
3 things that would hopefully keep both of you alive. You found them through. I'm tongue-tied. I love what you got to say, guys. I love them to death. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
New Jersey. We're in Nashville. Who's in New Jersey? I'm confused.
Nico, so fun.
Yeah, Nico can't come this year, but we do love Nico.
Yeah. Q and I led him and Blaze through the BU and helped them figure out the spoiler.
Mm.
Yeah, that's on Patreon.
That's so fun.
Yeah, they had fun with it. Okay, but off topic.
Oh God,
A zombie apocalypse with Toby.
Hobie.
Okay,
well,
so I figured out what I want. I want my first thing is I want some kind of like some kind of hologram projector that I can like duplicate Hobie, and I'm gonna make him dance and like do some kind of goofy dance, but like there's gonna be like a bazillion of him like hologrammed projecting everywhere, so that we can get the zombies to like
That's clever.
them off to his dancing, and they won't bother us, and then we can just like make a run for it. So I don't know that I only need one thing. I just need that hologram projector because I'm pretty sure that will distract them, and we can get away.
That is
Just
fun.
one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I love that you went with creative because I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get a shotgun. I'm gonna have to find some sort of weapon.
They're already dead. They're like zombies are dead and then undead. Like, is that gonna help?
Correct. Yes, it does. It does slow them down. That's the point. Is you're just slowing them down enough so you can escape. You know what I mean?
If you shoot him in the head, supposedly.
Yeah. Or like use a shovel in Shaun of the Dead. You know, like so some sort of a weapon. And then
are you letting Hobie have one?
No. No.
Military training.
Yeah, well, actually, that's true. Post-military, yes. But I mean, if we're talking like
military Hobie, no, he doesn't get to fight the zombie apocalypse.
No, he just needs to run, like you're saying. And we'd have to find a way to keep him quiet. Like you cannot. No,
you're so right.
Oh wow,
so right.
So, oh no, sorry. Let me.
Honestly, when you first said it, Karin, my first thought was the run Jin with the two of them, and Jin going, "Eat him first."
Yeah. Oh,
should I give the bears?
Is it okay to give a spoiler because I noticed something bizarre and cool about at the end of that zombie apocalypse
episode? The run Jin.
Yeah. Can I give a spoiler?
Yeah. No, but you can say that there is one at the end of that episode, so then if people want to go looking, they know.
Well, no, it's like you would have to. Nobody's going to know where to find it. Okay, tell you how we can do it. Okay,
then it's up to you.
All right. Tell you what. Anybody that doesn't want the spoiler can just cover their ears.
That's your ears.
Until I raise my hand. When I raise my hand, that means I'm done with the spoiler. Okay.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
So if you've seen the two-parter, you know what happened at the end. Well, there is an old Army zip, I think it was from 2019, where each of the guys picked a movie theme and did a photo shoot to that movie theme. And Jen's theme that he chose was a zombie apocalypse. And he said he wanted to be the best friend of the hero. And he wanted it to look like he had died, only he'd come back at the end. Okay.
I think I watched did you say that in one of your videos?
I probably did.
I think I heard you say that before.
Yeah, because it just blows my mind. Yeah.
Okay, she put her hand up. You put your hand up so Jamie can come back.
Yeah,
she took her earphone out.
Come back, Jamie. Come back.
Come back, Jamie.
Okay, come back, Jamie.
That is funny.
Oh, okay. All right, Megan, you got one for us?
Okay. Yes. If you were going on a road trip with Shuga, and we're talking about a weekend road trip, okay? What 3 things are you bringing?
Are we going any place in particular, or can we make that part of the answer?
That's up to you.
Okay.
Just you're going on a. I just meant to say it's a longer road trip, and that it's not like you're not in the car for 2 hours. You're like going on an actual road trip.
Who's driving?
That's up to you too. That could be part of your answer.
All right. So in my version, we have a driver.
Okay.
And I'm bringing some kind of music encyclopedia so that I can have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm in trouble.
Yeah. You can talk music and you can talk basketball.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try basketball, but I'll try a music encyclopedia so I can talk music with him. What else am I bringing? I'm bringing probably for him. I'm gonna put this as just one thing, but I'm gonna because it's a drink. But we each get a different one. I get my kombucha, and he gets a bottle of whatever he wants.
That's good. Yeah,
because we have a driver. And then the third thing is flip flops because we're going to the beach. So
Love it. Love it.
That means you're gonna see his little white toothpick legs. I love his little white toothpick.
You know what? I got a gummy smile like he does too. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that. But I have really little teeth, and I've always been told I have a gummy smile because when I smile, you can see a lot of my gums.
Sugar's my bias, so I'm glad you asked that question.
I didn't know that, but that's
So then, what 3 things do you want with you on a road trip with him?
I know this is critically important because I want to talk to the man. I don't want to just listen to music, although I do want to listen to music. And I think that if we're going away somewhere together, then we're going to have time when we're not in the car when we want to do something. So I'd want to pick a location where we would both have some fun. And I think he likes forests and things, doesn't he? But so maybe like a little cabin in the woods. I'm not thinking dirty thoughts. Don't look at me like that.
No, I was laughing at.
Wait. You have 3 things you have to have with you on the road trip. You're bringing a cabin. Are you like sticking it on the top?
No. All of this depends on where we're going. Okay.
So what you're bringing is related to where you're going, which is the cabin in the woods.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. I thought you were bringing the cabin. Okay.
Well, no. Okay, let's forget about the cabin. She's saying a paramedic again. Tangerines. Thank you. Yes. Love tangerines. I have loved tangerines long before I loved sugar. So yes. Lots of tangerines, great big bag of tangerines, like one giant sized bag of tangerines. And lots of cooking supplies because he loves to cook. And I know that he likes to read too. And I know that he read Almond because he used that when he was writing Amygdala. So I'll bring a copy of Almond and read it and talk to him about it while we're doing other things, just talk it through and compare notes. Let's see, is that 2 or is that 3? You didn't allow me the cabin. I would also, well, you won't let me bring a basketball court and a basketball without a court. But
in the car? No.
Although, if he had a basketball, he could try to teach me some of those tricks, like where he, rolls the basketball around. True. So yeah. Okay, there we go.
I'm assuming you have a driver too if he's teaching you basketball trips in the car.
Well, I mean, you said we're not going to be in the car all the time.
That's true.
You're driving somewhere.
Yeah, we're driving somewhere, wherever. Okay, so that's
nice. I like it. I already had mine picked out. That's why I said that one because I'm like, I know what I would bring. So it would be good.
All right, I have a weird one for you guys. You have gone back to school, high school probably, with Jim.
Oh goodness.
What 3 things do you want with you? And you're going back as an adult. You're not going back like in time. You're going back to, let's say, his school, his high school.
And we're both adults?
Yes. You're the age you are now. He's the age he is now, but you're going back to his high school for like some kind of assembly with the kids to,
Okay.
So what 3 things are you bringing with you?
Well, if the 2 of us are going together, does that mean we're both going to be presenting at the assembly?
I don't know why you're going with him.
I was thinking more nostalgia. So I was thinking like I would want to bring a camera. I would want to bring a camera. I'd want to bring his, I don't know if they have this over in their culture, because I know that obviously they have very different structure for school, but I'd want to bring their equivalent of like a yearbook.
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Yeah, something along those lines. And then, gosh, I'd probably want to bring like something from like now that, you know what I mean, that you've done now, or that you're doing now, something that you're really like, I would have to communicate with him what that is for him, because I couldn't really say, but I'd want to bring something of his that he's accomplished now. So let's just say his like latest album, the actual, you know, I'd want to bring that as show it. So it's like a little old, little new, and then kind of camera to capture the memory of that moment.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Darby, I'm planning my trip with Jimin.
You better take me.
He's your bias, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's her bias. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's yours? Who's your bias?
Megan won't choose a bias.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well,
I'm sorry.
We're all OT7, but she is like OT7 refuses to pick a bias OT7.
Okay.
My daughters will not let me live it down. They try to force the new one on me every week. It's kind of a running joke now, but it's not allowed to be Jungkook or V, because those are my daughter's biases. So, you know, but any of the other ones are up for grabs, and they force every week. They're like, oh, you said he looked really good in that video, so he's your favorite. So
yeah, Tay is one of my wreckers.
Oh, hi, Bonnie.
Hello.
Jamie said her mom said hi to us. So
okay, I missed that one. Yeah,
Jamie and her mom.
Hello, Amanda's mother.
Jamie's mom. It's Jamie's mom.
Excuse me. Wow. Okay. I've yeah. All right. I don't think I can top what you just said, Megan. I think I would say the same things, but I will come up with another question though.
You can just be like the comments. Jamie just keeps saying whatever it is, she needs a paramedic. So,
well, what about Jamie or Teresa or anybody else that's still here?
Yeah, for sure. Jamie says she needs a paramedic every time, though. It doesn't matter what we say.
All right. Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, my bias is oh.
Does your family does the rest of your family have biases, Teresa? Do they try and do to you what Megan's family does to her and tries to make her pick each time that she says anything about anybody? Oh, I love that song by Hobie. Oh, your bias is Hobie. Oh,
yes, exactly.
Oh, your bias is B.
What's the about being OT7, and I know I said this in like I said that we were on a podcast last year, and I said this, but like, what's great about it is that everybody is my bias wrecker. Like whoever in that moment is doing the thing, whatever that thing is like totally like, that's it right there for me, you know. But then like 5 minutes later, it might be somebody else doing that thing. So in one performance, all 7. And there's things that I love so much about each of them. That's why it's like so hard to choose just one.
Mm-hmm. I think for a lot of people, the first person that grabs your attention when you get into BTS is not your final bias. I think
that's true.
Yeah, the person that first grabbed my attention was RM because of all his accomplishments and everything, and that just automatically caught my attention. And then I saw Fake Love and saw how cute and adorable Jungkook was in that. And he was like a little waif, adorable little waif. And so I thought they would be my two. And then once I found out more about Suga, you know, it takes a while to find out about Suga, as we all know. And once I found out what he was really like on the inside and everything that he had been through and survived, so much of that resonates with my own story that he just naturally became my bias. And, you know, I have bias wreckers, but he's always going to be my number one because he's like a male Korean me.
Yeah.
And then Taehyung, I love his quirky personality. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the handsomest man on the planet.
My daughter mentions to me every day. Yeah. Did you see, Mom?
Her daughter would agree with you.
Number one. Not number two, number one.
Yeah, handsomest man on the planet. And then my other bias wrecker is Hobie, especially God in that latest set of pictures that's come out. This latest photo shoot. Oh my goodness gracious! And of course, anytime he dances. But
Oh my.
yeah.
I bet one of your favorite performances is that one where they're doing Pepsi, and
I knew you were going to say that.
you knew which one I was going to say. And it's that one, and
that.
he just does the craziest move, and then the camera pans to Shuga, and he's like, he can't even believe that Hobie just, and he has to say something because he's been dancing with Hobie for how many years at that point. So for Shuga to be shocked enough that he's just like,
yeah.
Every time, if I ever want to just a little pick me up in life, I
yeah.
that one in. I also love the suits when they're doing Not Today, right after Dionysus, and they jump down and they're all just like already like panting because they're exhausted. But then they just walk down the runway in their suits, and I'm like, that's it right there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Dionysus itself, I think that's my favorite song.
Yeah.
Just because of that performance, it's just so mind blowing.
Yeah.
Those giant inflatable jaguars just make me cackle. And the whole thing is just so far over the top. It's just amazing. Oh, Jamie's saying good night. Good night, Jamie.
Good night, Jamie.
I'm typing to her.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go pretty soon too. Actually, I gotta
pick
up some groceries before it snows. I'm not the like run to the store and get bread and milk person, but there are certain things that I do.
Yeah.
I'm out of that I need. So
that happened to me last time it snowed in January here. I got back the night before it snowed from a trip. So we were out of everything. So I went to the store and I'm like, la la la, restocking. And I'm like, why are there like 12? And then somebody's like, it's snowing tomorrow. And I was like, no, yeah, see, I didn't think about that in terms of shopping. And it was like 3 or 4 hours to do what should have been like an hour-long grocery.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I'm hoping just to get those things that I'm out of. So.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I actually put in a pickup order, so I just need to grab it. Hopefully there's stuff in the order and it wasn't like, we're out of this, we're out of this, we're out of this.
That happens too.
Hey, what's the weather like there in April?
Oh, it'll be great.
It'll be
great. Yeah, we start getting, so what usually happens in February, Megan knows this and I know this because my kiddo's birthday is earlier in February too, and then her birthday later. But basically February is like, it usually starts out pretty, cold for here. Then we'll have like this warm snap where it's like, 50, 60, even 70 for like a week or so. And then it goes back to really cold for a little bit. And then daffodils come up at the end of February, always. The last week of February, the daffodils are always up. Then usually we get a freeze. Then the tulips start coming. Then we usually get a freeze, and it like kills most of them.
Oh, no.
But then it gets warm.
It's like a small thing. And then by April, it's like 70.
Nice.
April's nice because it's not too hot yet, but it's not. You're not having any more winter at that point. We call the February warm, that's false spring. That's fake.
But without fail, those daffodils come up at the end of February. They're like, it's time.
It's almost always nice on my birthday here, which is at the end of February. Every year that we've been here so far, it has been like a beautiful near 70-degree perfect day. So
but nice. April will be great.
Yeah.
Good deal.
As far as temperature.
Yeah.
I can't say if it'll rain or not rain or whatever, but the temperature will be good, and we're indoors. So
I was gonna say, thankfully that won't be an issue for us, and because everything is there on site, and then we have those awesome food carts coming. Like everybody does not have to worry about the weather that day.
Yeah. I'm so interested in that Asian food cart that I may have to forego the VIP room and just eat from the Asian food cart.
I'm excited for it too. They have so many. I was looking it up. They have a lot of really great gluten-free options, which is usually hard to find, for us. So
they've got vegetarian, they've got gluten-free, they've got carnivore, they've got it all. So
nice. And
their sushi, as far as I saw, was cooked. So they are food truck and they are serving sushi, but it is cooked sushi. So you don't have to be freaked out.
Oh, I love sushi, period.
If like a food truck is serving sushi, you're a little bit like, they're serving cooked sushi.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
Good.
It's all
Okay.
safe.
Sounds
And then
great.
the other food truck has all kinds of delectable desserts.
Cool. Teresa says we've all had 4 seasons here in 2 days. Me too, Teresa. I'm living in South Carolina, and it cannot decide what season it is from day to day. Um, but I'm in a place where we hardly ever get snow. We got just a sprinkling during that
Yeah,
last
no,
week.
we don't usually get much either. And when we do get it we've had it, I think, one other time this year, and this is our second time. But then it'll just melt itself in a couple days. But we'll have it for a few days because it's supposed to get cold and stay cold for a few days. So
Yeah. We've got another big storm coming, and I think we're just barely going to miss the snow this time. But snow is exciting for me. I want to see more of it.
I honestly, I got to be fair. I'm from the north originally. I feel like if I'm gonna get frigid temperatures, at least the weather could do is give me some snow.
Exactly.
You know, that's what
Exactly.
It's like, no, stop it. I will say, in fairness, though, it's not as fun to get snow here because they don't have the capacity to take care of it like they do in places that are used to having snow. So it's like a little snow equals a very long period of nothing.
But the other thing is that there are a lot of hills and things like that. So even if there was a lot of stuff, you're still going to be sliding down those hills. So I like when it snows here and people are just like, you know what, everything's just closed. And I'm like,
we're doing nothing but enjoying
everybody safe. I'm okay with it. But speaking of which, yes, I know Jamie had to go. I do have to run and pick up those groceries as well. So we might cut this one. Well, we're not even short. This is actually probably about where we usually
are. It is, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for being in our chat and being with us. I just seeing somebody's comment to start. I don't know if one of you guys started or Jamie started herself, but it says I gotta go. I must have started. I don't know what's going on. I'm doing crazy things. Anyway, we will see you all soon. Make sure to get on our socials and look forward to all of our announcements. Like I said, we do have that other entertainment that we are firming up. So, and t-shirts. So
yes, I was going to say, stay connected to socials. There'll be news tomorrow. There'll be news Friday. You don't want to miss that. Yes. Well, there'll be news one of those days that you definitely don't want to miss. And then as things get, kind of cemented moving forward, there'll be more, but definitely stay connected via social because that's where you'll be able to find links to past stuff and any information you need. And we always love seeing you guys there commenting and chatting and all that. So,
yep. We do have a Facebook group too. If you guys want that, Borahae in the USA, you can apply to join the Facebook group. We mostly just talk con stuff in there if people need questions or they want rides or they want to, meet up with people. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I think I need to go. My brain is. I got the con brain. All right, thanks everybody. See you next time, next week.
Bye.
Same time.
Bye-bye.